Hello everybody and welcome back to Take Your GTN 750 Anywhere Part 2, where today we talk about the integration with the TDS GTN 750. So stick around. One app designed to do it all. Hangar Control brings everything together. Control bindings, hardware configuration, mod and profile management, application launching, add-ons, config files, and more, all managed from a single application. Mods Hangar goes beyond just mods and add-ons. It manages profiles, config files, text files, backups, snapshots, and helps keep your community folders clean and organized. Application Hangar launches your entire SIM stack with a single click. Your Stream Decks are fully controlled through the Hangar Control plugin, while all of your other Stream Deck plugins remain active and available. Built by a simmer for simmers, Hangar Control adds new features and hardware support every week based on community feedback. It's a one-time purchase with lifetime updates, no subscriptions. You can try it for free for 5 days with no restrictions at overkillsimulations.com. Just create an account, head to your account page, download the latest version, and get started. And if you're looking for in-depth Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft tutorials, check out my Patreon site. Links to Hangar Control and Patreon are down in the description below. Okay folks, so yesterday I did a video with Hangar Control and the PMS-50 GTN 750 and talked about how to take it anywhere. With its integration with the Hangar Control touch panel feature, you can now use your PMS-50 and now TDS GTN 750s anywhere you want, whether it be on a local touchscreen connected to your PC via USB or HDMI, or it can be on your cell phone, your iPad, your tablet, your Chromebook, wherever you want that's broadcasted over your local Wi-Fi. So today we're going to talk about how to get the TDS GTN 750 set up. If you're interested in the PMS 50, that video was from yesterday, so be sure to go back and check out that video on the channel. So let's go ahead and get started. So with the TDS, obviously you can see that we have that integrated right now. And so moving over to the Hangar Control piece, this is very easy. By the way, if you guys are interested, Hangar Control does come with a 5-day free trial if you wish, or you can purchase it outright. You can grab it from overkillsimulations.com, but be sure to create an account first. You must create your account first. If you don't create your account first and log in, you will not be able to download the software and you will get an error at checkout. So we're going to go ahead and start our service here. We're going to open up our touch panel, and this, let's go ahead and just clear everything out so you guys can see the creation from start to finish. Now for the actual, what am I doing? For the actual, there we go. We'll keep these two layers. Well, let's go ahead and delete that one. For the actual pop out, the glass out here, or the glass pop out, you do need a software called GlassOut. Now that is a direct integration with Hangar Control, but it's a fantastic application from Flying Art Designs. Again, this is called, as you can see here, GlassOut. It is fantastic. It is the easiest way you can imagine to access all of the different pop outs. Even these radio screens here can be popped out. So let me show you guys how simple this is. So when it comes to the GlassOut Hangar Control integration, all you have to do is make sure the GlassOut is running. That's it. Okay, so that's it. We're done with GlassOut. So the next thing we're going to do here is, you can see I've created a layer and I've just called it GlassOut. You can rename here and title it whatever you want. We're going to right click, do an add gauge. Oh, nope, sorry, got ahead of myself. That's the next part. We want add web view, excuse me. Simply double click, and you can see we want GlassOut. Now, this IP address, you can leave it alone as long as you are going to run your touch screen locally to the PC, meaning that whatever touch screen or monitor or display that you want this whole thing to pop out on is physically attached to the PC, either via USB or HDMI. So it is not on your Wi-Fi. This is called, for those of you who don't know, your local IP address. This tells the computer to look on this computer for this site. If you are running on a Wi-Fi device, if you would like it to be on your Wi-Fi, you will want this IP address right here. Ignore the port, the 198.60 for this particular feature, ignore that. But you will want, for example, mine is 192. 168.0.245. And that's what we would put right here before the :8787. That is the GlassOut port. We want to leave that alone. We would replace this IP address 127.0.0.1 with the IP address up here if you want to broadcast on your Wi-Fi. Again, to a cell phone, to an iPad, to a tablet, you would need to replace that IP address, okay? But we're going to run everything locally so I can just show you guys here, and we're just going to hit connect. And once we hit connect, we now get the list of everything that GlassOut is currently seeing. Now, there is a bit of a tick that you want to watch for when it comes to the TDS version of the GTN 750. If you are using the PMS50 version, this run right here, GTN 750 element, works just fine. But if you're using the TDS, I would assume by this point that you already know which one you have installed. In our case, the GTNXi 750. And you can see Unit 1. That's what the U1 means. That's what we want to use. So we're going to select that. We're going to hit Use Panel and Save. Now, this initial screenshot you see, that's exactly what it is. Hangar Control, rather than doing the PC overload of having a live display here, it just takes a screenshot of what the current display is. So if we go back in here and change things, Hangar Control is not going to reflect that. It just gives you the initial image of whatever status it's in when it's captured. Okay, and that's just so that way you can size it correctly. So now what I recommend doing at this point is we're going to create a new layer. Okay, I like to keep everything separate. That way you can easily know which one to go to. So we're going to rename this one as we can just call it this GTN 750 bezel, or however you want. I'm just going to do bezel. Okay. And then now, as long as this one is orange, if I click in here, I can't move this anymore. But if I come back over here, I can move it all I want. Okay. The other thing you can do is hide a layer. Okay. You can also lock it if you want, but I'm not ready to do that just yet. So we're going to go to bezel, and then I'm going to right click, add gauge. We're going to come up here and we're going to go to GTN 750 touchscreen. And again, just hit save as long as you have selected your version. You can see currently we're selected on the PMS50, and you have 1 and 2. In our case, we just want the TDS Unit 1. We're going to hit that, and we're going to hit save. Now what I like to do with this one is simply fit to canvas. Then what we can do is, if we want, we can move these layers around so we can see things. Oops, wrong button. There we go. And we're going to, I did it again. Go back to our GlassOut panel, so now we can move it, and we're going to size it more or less where we want. And then what you can do is open your window, or if you're opening it on a browser, or if you're launching it on your cell phone, however you want to do it, whatever it may be, when we open our window, this is what we'll be presented with. And you can size it, and the home buttons and things like that, I'm gonna move around. I was debating whether I wanted to. My idea was I didn't really want it to exactly match the real thing, as I am not sponsored or licensed by Garmin. So, but doing further research, I don't think that's gonna be much of a problem. So we're gonna work on the bezels themselves. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this, sort of move it over here. I'm gonna come back to my designer. From this point here, I recommend using these sidebars, because when you use the sidebars, you're going to get an immediate adjustment on here. If you click and drag, you will not see any change until you let go of the mouse, because the input is not executed until you let go. Okay, where here, as soon as you move it, that input is being processed. So we're just going to sort of do like this, and then let's work on our sizing actually. And then we'll work on the vertical position. Oh, let's see, where's the top of it? Right about there, right? Right there, looks pretty good. And then so now we know that our vertical height changes from the bottom up. So now we'll bring up the bottom, and there's the bottom. Go 1 more, 2 more, and maybe check our width just a hair. Wait for that button to be completely in view. There we go. Now go a little wider. Get it back to the edge. And right there. It looks pretty good to me. Okay. And so that's it. We can now hit save. We can now hit close. We can move Hangar Control off the way. And you can have this window wherever you want on your own touchscreen, size it however you want. These windows are sizable, and the unit will stretch and shape based on how you want it, right? And so now you have your direct buttons, your home button works, all that jazz. You have full touch authority of your TDS. And like I said, this is great for a tablet or your cell phone. Even your cell phone gets a little small. I mean, depends. I mean, right? Depends how big a phone is. Some of these phones get pretty large. But the beautiful part about this is this also works with any other touchscreen that's available. We also have a G1000, a GNS 530. Again, you can export. We have our own transponder and general aviation autopilot panel. All these things that can be broadcast either over your Wi-Fi, again for these same devices that we've already mentioned, or they can be ran locally on a touchscreen. So the idea here is keeping with the Hangar Control theme. Hangar Control's entire purpose and theme is an all-in-one experience. You know, where we push out another update today, fixed a whole bunch of bugs and issues. You know, Hangar Control's only been alive since November. So we're doing pretty good, and this is just another example of us heading in the right direction. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are excited about this. As always, folks, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.